Hello, welcome to the Deadpan Parade. I'm your host, Marie Antoinette. Today is Friday, May 8th, 2026. And before I get into today's list of random thoughts, I just wanted to talk about something I observed being an Uber driver. And this is an observation that is basically about the difference between the super rich and the super poor. I've had both sets of people in my car. And I'm not talking about the difference, with the obvious difference, which is the amount of money one has over the other or the amount of assets one has over the other. I'm talking about just on a strictly human level. And I can honestly say, in my observation, that there is no difference between the super rich and the super poor on a human level. Both, to me, are equally void of any common sense and couth. Period. I don't know how else to say it. And an example of this would be the other day, I picked up a mother and her two sons at a five-star resort that is extremely, it's not cheap by any standard, and it's in a it's in the richest part of the state here. And I picked them up. The mother obviously, wasn't, the kid's outside eating his gummy bears or whatever, and he's got his golf clubs. And so I'm like, oh, do you want to, put I'm here to pick you, your mother, is your mother here? And she's inside, and whatever. But, that goes for both sets. It's not one or the other. That happens all the time, and it's understandable. But so I picked the mother and her two sons up, and we got probably like a 30-minute ride ahead of us to another golf course. So we are happily riding along, and the ride ends, and I knew that the kids were eating something in the back, and honestly, uh, I was born and I was raised that to the point where, not that there's any etiquette here about getting in an Uber or a taxi, but even if it was a taxi, I was raised different, I guess. I wouldn't eat in the car. I wouldn't eat in another person's car, period. It doesn't matter how hungry I was, you know, and so they're eating, and I thought it was what I saw because I'm usually pretty cognizant of that because I don't usually allow it. And I thought it was just the gummy bears, which it's innocent enough. But when I let them out of the car, I I looked at the back seat, and apparently they were the little uh, wonderful addition to the human race is eating uh, powdered donuts. So there's the powder all over the seat, all over the seat. And I didn't. They were gone by the time that I was able to get back and actually look at the car. They were already inside, so I wasn't gonna say anything anyway. Whatever. So and it's amazing. And these people, they obviously had money. We had the golf clubs and the overweight, two additions to an already overweight human race. But they just had to have the powdered donuts in the car, uh, and let me know that they had them. So there's nothing I could say. And if I would have known that, I would have definitely said something. I don't care how much money you have. If you're an idiot, I'm going to call you out on it. So there's the super rich example, right? And then we get to the super poor example, where I picked up the lady. Well, this is a different time, but it's just an example of just between the two types of humans, which there apparently isn't any. And I'm not angry. I'm just making an observation. It's just an observation. It baffles me. I don't want to understand it. I don't want to know. I don't want to make sense out of it. I gave up making sense out of people 30 years ago. I don't have the energy for it. So I don't even try anymore. But the other, another instance of the opposite spectrum, picking up the same instance, a mother and her two kids, coincidentally, and we were going to a daycare to pick up her kids. I picked her up, and then we went and got her kids. So it was multiple trips, and then she went inside to pick up her two little grand additions to the human race, and they proceed to walk out with bowls of ice cream. And this one I saw before they got in the car, and I'm just like, there's no eating in the car. And at this point, with what I deal with people, I don't even I try to be nice, but at the same time, I'm just flat out tell you, don't do that, or else you're gonna just get thrown out of the car. I don't have any tolerance for stupid stuff. I zero tolerance. So I told her, and she looked at me like I was nuts, or I'm some kind of you know, an evil villain. And the kids are looking at me the same way. So then they drove the 15 or 20 minutes with bowls of melting ice cream, and I'm supposed to care. I didn't care. I mean, if it was me and I was the parent, and even like the school, why are you giving the kids ice cream to go in to drive in a car? Why would you do that? It baffles me. The human race, in my mind, is completely done. It's completely done. It deserves everything it's going to get, and there's things coming for it that maybe it'll fix itself. But man, and again, you can't wait the 10 minutes or the 20 minutes to get home to eat your garbage. And why do you're already overweight? You already look like crap. You already are dumber than a box of rocks, and you're gonna come into someone else's car. And I don't care how neat or clean you think you are. Whenever you eat anything, there's always remnants left over. And I'm the cleanest. I consider myself. I'm Italian. You just used to be able to actually literally eat off of my grandmother's floors, and that's the truth. But when you eat something, no matter what it is, you leave remnants. It's just a given. So I guess people don't understand that. It could be just me, and maybe I'm old fashioned, but that's just an observation. So when you think there's a difference on the human level and the human common sense level between the ultra rich and the ultra poor, there isn't any. So now on with our list of random thoughts. And this is part 2 of 506,000. And again, I'm sorry if I'm yelling, but things like that, they get me riled up. So here we go. Random thoughts number 1. I sometimes find myself wondering if having no toes is really as bad as it sounds. Random thought number 2. The other day, AI told me I looked like its sister. Random thought number 3. Do self-driving taxis care if you take a crap in them? I'm asking for a friend. Random thought number 4. How much Raisin Bran is too much? Random thought number 5. I sometimes find myself wondering if toilet paper has feelings. Have you ever thought that? I think about that a lot. Probably again more often than I should. Random thought number 6. I'm pretty sure my car thinks I'm cheating on it. Random thought number 7. When my car talks back to me, should I punish it? Random thought number 8. Since when does the cashier at my local grocery store need my social security number so I can buy a box of Cheez-Its? Just asking. Just curious. Random thought number 9. How much wood does a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck stained glass? And again, if you need to take a break, please go ahead and do so. You can always rewind the video and come back. And again, I don't want you to miss anything. I think this is very important stuff. So here we go. Random thought number 10. Does anybody remember what year living in a cardboard box on 5th and Main Street became middle class? I think it was around 2020, but I could be wrong. Random thought number 11. The last time I tried to pull myself up by my own bootstraps, I almost strangled myself. Random thought number 12. The only reason I went to college was to try and get out of working for a living. Random thought number 13. Opportunity exists, but only if you hold a gun to its head. Well, I found that out the hard way. Random thought number 14. Being between a rock and a hard place is probably a lot less sexy than it sounds. Random thought number 15. Sometimes my car thinks I'm too angry to drive. Random thought number 16. Today my house wouldn't let me in because I didn't ask nicely enough. And I'm trying my best not to laugh here. You might not think these are that funny, but I do. And I'm trying to keep it deadpan. And we're finishing up. We're almost through. I know you're waiting in high anticipation. Random thought number 17. Today, a drone delivered my pizza somewhere in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I live in upstate New York. Random thought number 18. If crime doesn't pay, then what does? And lastly, drum roll please, random thought number 19. Let's be clear. I'm not advocating giving up on life. I'm not advocating quitting life, but I am advocating carrying a lot of lube, because trust me, you're going to need it. So there you have it. Those are my random thoughts for today. I hope you enjoyed them. I hope you got a laugh. Please tell everybody you know about the channel, your priest, your doctor, your exorcist, your wife, your girlfriend, everyone you can think of, and I'd really appreciate it. Please subscribe, please like the video, and I'll be talking to you soon. Thank you for watching.